Today is a special episode where I have 4 guests with me, and we are talking about Museum Store Sunday and creating special moments, special days, holidays, things that you can really promote and create memorable experiences for your store and your customers. Now, a lot of us have heard of Small Business Saturday. Many of us, I'm sure a lot of you are participating in Small Business Saturday this year, where you have special deals and activities, and it's a whole big marketing campaign to drive people in and shop, and it's high energy. But did you know that there's also Museum Store Sundays? And it's the Sunday after Small Business Saturday where you can support your local museum store and get involved. And what we're doing today on this podcast is I'm talking to several of the museum stores and getting their insight on how they market these events and how they connect with the community, not just on that day, but leading up to the day, and what they do all throughout the year, how they're marketing, how they're creating memorable experiences. And what's really special about today's episode is that you get the opportunity to see a different type of industry. There's a good chance that you yourself are not a museum gift shop. Maybe you are, but maybe you're not. But you get to see and hear kind of behind the curtain, pull behind the curtain and hear what people are doing for their museum stores in a totally different industry. But a lot of what they're doing, you can replicate for your store too. So I'm really excited. This is really fun. Also, can I just say that the resilience round, having 4 people doing the resilience round, was a lot of fun because everybody's answer is so different. So it's like this powerful, quick brainstorming session with 4 really smart people. So you're going to love today's episode. And before we dive in, I just want to do another call out. MuseumStoreSunday.org is where you need to go to learn more about this event. And obviously you might be busy working that weekend, but if you have anybody who wants to support the arts, tell them about this, share it. We'd love to get the word out there. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Crystal Vilkaitis, the Wolf of Main Street, and this is Rooted in Retail. We have an awesome panel of people with us today. So hello, Susan, Chacho, Stuart, and Jonathan. Welcome to Rooted in Retail. I'm thrilled you're here.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Delighted to be here. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a great conversation. Now, we are going to talk all about Museum Store Sunday, and that's such a special event to our museums. And it's similar to Small Business Saturday in the way of really driving traffic and having a mission behind it. I'm going to let you guys talk about that. But before we dive into it, I would love for each of you to just share your name, where you're from, what you do. And I'm going to start with you, Susan.
Okay. Thank you, Crystal. Good afternoon or morning. I'm Susan Tudor from the Cummer Museum of Art and Gardens in Jacksonville, Florida, where I'm the Director of Retail and Visitor Experience. I'm also the co-chair of the Museum Store Sunday Committee, and I'm a past president of the Museum Store Association, who sponsors Museum Store Sunday. So very nice to be here.
So happy you're here. And Chacho?
Thanks, Crystal. My name's Chacho Herman. I'm with the San Diego Museum of Art in San Diego, Director of Earned Income, which means we have 2 campuses, Museum of Photographic Arts and the San Diego Museum of Art, store at each location. I also oversee our admissions for both locations and our fabulous restaurant at the San Diego Museum of Art called Panama 66.
Awesome. So fun. Stuart, what about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Stuart Hata, Director of Retail Operations for the Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco. We have 2 museums, the De Young in Golden Gate Park and the Legion of Honor in Lincoln Park. And I oversee all museum retail, online store, e-commerce, wholesale, etc.
Awesome. So glad you're here. And Jonathan.
Hi, Crystal. Thanks so much for having us. My name is Jonathan Ochart, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Postcard Agency in Los Angeles. And we manage marketing and PR efforts for Museum Store Sunday.
So good. Okay. I'm so glad that you guys are all here and we're going to have such a great conversation. So first up, for anybody that's listening, MSA's Museum Store Sunday is such a creative way to drive in traffic. How was this idea born and what need was it designed to meet?
I'll take that question. Well, in 2017, the MSA Board of Directors went through its strategic planning work and determined that direct advocacy of museum stores to consumers would help communicate the value and importance of museum stores to the general public and their communities. For the timing of the event, the board looked to the busiest shopping weekend of the year, Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And while Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday were already established, no one had claimed Sunday. And thus, MSA created Museum Store Sunday. That's how it was born.
Love it, which I think is so smart because there's so much that's going on during that weekend, like a lot of publicity, a lot of energy, a lot of momentum, really driving people in to support local and be a part of their community. And to add in the museum element is so wonderful. So any of our listeners, please share with us, have you participated in Museum Store Sunday? And if you have or haven't, we're hoping that you do. And we'll talk about that later today as well. So once shoppers are in the store for a special event like Museum Store Sunday, what are 2 or 3 things indie retailers can do to make the day special and really truly meaningful and memorable, something that sparks repeat visits and word of mouth marketing?
Well, I can jump in for that answer. Thank you again for this opportunity to talk about something so near and dear. You know, in my museum, I've been participating at the Cummer Museum with Museum Store Sunday this will be our 9th year. And what works for us very well is once we get them in, is to create excitement about the day. And we do that through Meet the Makers, where we bring in local artisans, business owners with their trunks of merchandise to speak to the visitors. That adds a lot of excitement and just personal interaction, which is fun. We offer, the time of year that it is, we offer discounts on our full store. So that's exciting for our shoppers. And then we will also, sometimes we do book signings, just, that anything that's interactive for the visitors. And this is, of course, just makes for a fun event. And that's what brings people back year after year. I mean, they look forward to it and they talk about Museum Store Sunday and our membership and our, non-members about the event, understanding what it's about. So it's just about creating excitement, a buzz. Once you have them in there, keep having them come back to these events or special. Yeah.
Well, and really creating those experiences, like you're saying, the book signing and Meet the Makers, it's so much more than just the discounts, or seeing some new items, like really having something fun to add to that. Does anybody want to add anything else to that?
Yeah. I mean, Susan brings up a good point. I mean, we put it in our member magazine. We put it on social. We partner with vendors who come in and they'll come in with, like Susan, but they come in with items, bags full of items that they say, okay, Chach, here, give these, anybody spending $50 or more gets this beautiful scarf. Makes it a great experience. They get something out of it. They support our institution. Every dollar we make in our museum still goes back into supporting the educational programs and exhibitions at the San Diego Museum of Art from MOPA. And we will also host trunk shows. So jewelers will come in. They bring things in that our customers are really excited to see. It's the holiday season, gift-giving season. So people are very excited about, purchasing that special pair of earrings or the special necklace. It also is an extension of the visitor's experience. So our visitor who comes in, they maybe see an exhibition, whatever it is, Monet, or like right now we have a cheetah exhibition, and they'll purchase that item and they take home a piece of exhibition home with them to extend that experience. So it's really it's pretty cool what we do.
Yeah. I love the idea of extending the experience once you're in store and bringing it home with you. It's so special. Stuart, anything to add to that?
No, we do artisan trunk shows, again, working with local artisans and MSA members. As Susan said, we've been participating for the past 9 years at the Young and Legion of Honor. And we also like to sort of send our customers to each museum back and forth because we have different offerings at each location. But we basically just make it into one great big party and celebration.
Yeah, I love it. People love a good party. I also love the idea of leveraging the multiple locations. Like if any of our listeners have multi-store, doing something different in each so it's not repetitive. That's a really nice way to connect. Susan, were you going to add something to that?
Well, I just, wanted to add the online component. Most of us have online stores, so we also participate online, and customers can find those stores on our website, museumstoresunday.org. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, for the people that maybe aren't local, especially from a museum perspective. So if we have tourist town stores that are listening, really smart to extend some of that experience online and connect with them there too. So I'm glad that you added that in. Love it. Okay, so now Jonathan, you're really in the marketing and PR world. So what are some low cost and creative PR tactics retailers can use to get local buzz for their own events?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I know everyone is trying to figure out ways to stretch a dollar nowadays. And really what's nice is many of us have smartphones, which have cameras, which means we can film content. And the nice thing is customers and the public, they don't expect super high-end production videos anymore. You can just share raw, organic content. So you might want to ask your customers, maybe make them feel like a mini celebrity for a day and ask them, what was your experience like in the museum? And what inspired you to choose this item from our store? What do you like most about this item? Are you getting it as a gift or is it for yourself? So share those stories from the community, from your customers, I think really makes them feel special and part of the story. As well as obviously, featuring the artisans who make the items in your stores. People want to know the inspiration and the story behind each item because they are also unique. These aren't mass-produced items that you can find at big box stores. They're usually inspired by community, by local histories, by your local skyline, etc. So they feel really unique and special, and people want to hear about them.
Yeah, it's so true. Storytelling is just really working well when it comes to marketing and social media. And I love that you said it doesn't need to be fancy high design. Like people are really liking the humanized type content in the moment in the store. So such good tips and things that people could do right now. And I hope that they're really leveraging because when, especially holiday season, it's just so busy. It's so hard to get the marketing done, but these are definitely things that they can focus on. Storytelling. I hope a lot of people are focusing on storytelling. Now, continuing on this, Museum Store Sunday has a lot of great toolkits. You give some really great resources to your participating stores. But for a small retailer without those resources, what's a way that they can repurpose what they already have? So their space or products or partnerships to market more creatively.
Well, I would recommend leaning into their brand identity to market their store. All independent retailers, have a certain store name, and hopefully they have a certain graphic representation of their store. And really, you already have that, it exists, and really lean into that brand identity. In a world today where branding is so important, it not only communicates a visual identity, but it communicates an emotional identity and really who you are. And so, simple ways is, does your store have giveaway big bookmarks, with their brand identity and their logistical information, such as their addresses, open hours, if they have an online store, their call to action to shop online. I mean, we have these giveaway bookmarks that people love, and it's sort of just an easy, low cost way to market your store that people, and hopefully they'll use that bookmark, stick it in wherever, or pin it on their refrigerator, and they'll remember you. And then, similar to that lines, using your brand identity consistently for signage, both in-store, on their storefront. It really helps, again, to communicate and reinforce their store's uniqueness. So that to me, I think definitely into their existing brand identity and just using that to their advantage.
Leverage it, and the consistency, that is key. And I really love that you said bookmark because I'm not kidding. I really need bookmarks. Like I am always folding up a piece of paper. This just happened to me last week. I'm folding up a piece of paper. I'm like, now it's starting to get all torn up. Like, so, and you can have a QR code on that bookmark. I mean, it's just a very smart thing to give away. Susan, would you add anything to that?
Well, I agree, of course, with Stuart on, looking what you have. And you really don't need a large budget to be successful with this. It's embracing what's in front of you, talking about storytelling, looking at the merchandise. What can you do with that to celebrate on this special day, talking about museum stores? So again, like what Stuart's saying, just lean into what you have. The toolkit, though, is fabulous. It can be as simple as just printing a museum store Sunday sign and putting it out. Now, data shows that when you are able to do events, meet the makers, product launch, you can see some different results, right? But it's about celebrating and building excitement. So I would just lean into what is in front of you.
Yeah, awesome. Chacho, what about you? Anything to add?
Well, using the socials, of course, we have, I have someone dedicated on the store team who really likes developing content for, Instagram. And then our museum marketing team then follows that and then shares it. So and then I have to share it, of course. And so we get that repetition and that, it's going out to, thousands of people. I also use the museum's membership magazine to promote Museum Store Sunday. So our members know, they'll tell their friends, they'll bring their friends with them in. It's like, we have to go on this day. This jeweler's going to be there, or this bag maker's going to be there, and developing word of mouth. And I like what Stuart said about, leaning into the identity of the San Diego Museum of Art and MOPA, though for Stuart, it's San Francisco. But yeah, it's good. It's just leaning into that and taking advantage of all the options we have.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think too, Stuart, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's just another way that any retailer, any small retailer, is work with your community. Partner with a local artist or vendor. We do it all the time in museum stores, but really any retailer can partner with a local artist and create exclusive products, just for them, because it really mutually benefits both the small retailer, but also the local artisan, right? They get exposure, the retailer gets exclusive products, and then you really celebrate the fact that you're creating something unique and special and local. And so you're supporting your community. So, that's really, to me, that's also a very easy way that museum stores do very well, where we work a lot with our local vendors, artisans. And it's very easy to create unique product to celebrate your specific store.
Yeah, so true. Tapping into the community, creating this memorable experience, properly marketing it, leveraging current tools. Like, this is what's really great about having this conversation, because although you guys are in the museum gift store world and museum world, and our listeners are retail, all sorts of categories, but we can always learn from different industries on how they're doing it and what are they doing, and how can I kind of think outside the box of my industry and look at another industry and adapt. This toolkit that you guys get, that alone, it's like a retailer could create their own toolkit that they're using every year. So set yourself up for success, and then we're leveraging every year after. Or can you go to your local chamber or Main Street Association, downtown association, and ask, hey, will you create a toolkit for all of us local businesses that we can all be on brand and really unite for Small Business Saturday or whatever kind of event you have going on. And I know American Express, they'll have some toolkits too if people are participating in that. But I think this is just a really great conversation to brainstorm all these different things that are at our fingertips to really help support the marketing, the connection, the community involvement in it. So excited. Then it makes me wish that it was now. Like, I love that time of year. It's so fun, right? So fun. Okay, so now beyond a single day, how can special shopping events like MSS help build resilience and long-term relevance for retailers?
For museum stores, it's about the experience. It's about extending the experience. It's about education and mission-driven product. There's also the connection between the sales associate and our customer. And every new exhibition that opens at our museum, I coordinate a curator-led tour for our frontline teams so that when they come back to their stations, VRAs, visitor relations associates, store associates, they can speak to the exhibition, have a meaningful conversation with our visitors and say, hey, did you like this show? You'd like this catalog, or you'd like this necklace, or you'd like this. Do you want to learn more about it? It's really something that's pretty special and creates a connection and something where people will come back time after time. Maybe they see an exhibition a couple times and they come up and say, hey, Chacho, I saw this again. I didn't notice this work of art in the last time I was here, but I noticed it this time. Like, I love that, and then you have that. It's like, I love that work of art. Let's talk about it some more. Let's connect. And people come back time after time, and they will ask for certain sales associates over and over again to talk about their experience and then maybe walk away with something special and something that reminds them of their experience here at the San Diego Museum of Art.
Yeah, it's a really good example. Susan, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I mean, I agree so much with Chacho on that because it's, they come in for the shop and what they leave with is a feeling and experience connection to the museum. And so, that's really what we want to do. We're also, as we said earlier, everything that is sold there is in support of our mission in our museum. So bringing these folks in for shopping shows them about our museums. And that's what we want to do too, is building culture. But yeah, that would be it.
Well, and Susan, I'll just say too, in the very beginning, when we were having this conversation, you were saying that people talk about Museum Store Sunday leading up, like they get excited about it. It's memorable. So when you have a branded day, and I feel like even that in itself can be a lesson for our listeners that you could create. Stuart, you're saying the board, our advisors went and we looked and when should we do this? And you can create your own day or a weekend or something that has a brand that you stick to. Mm-hmm. My husband runs our local chamber of commerce and he just did the Carnival of Dreams. And they're doing that. He's actually at a meeting right now as we're filming, talking about next year, so now people can really hang on to that and get excited for next year. And so just this day in itself is so special to get people talking all year long. And I do recommend retailers talk about it, seed it kind of all throughout the year. Stuart, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, exactly. You hit on the nail where, look, we use Museum Store Sunday as a way to celebrate to our customers, but also celebrate ourselves, all the work we do. But we look at it as a launch pad, really. And, our latest initiative, and with our updated tagline, which is Shop with Purpose, we're looking at Museum Store Sunday to really raise the awareness and shop and support museum stores, not only on Museum Store Sunday, but really every day throughout the year. And this, our special shopping event day really helps raise awareness of museum stores, and it strengthens our community ties, as I mentioned before. And it showcases the store's purpose, why we exist. And I think if retailers build on a momentum of if they do a similar shopping day, through this ongoing engagement with their visitors and customers, and we mentioned earlier, storytelling, why that's so key. I think, and then customer, Museum Store Sunday is also a way of building customer loyalty. And so it's a way to really build that loyalty and encourage repeat visitation. And I think that just speaks to being a more resilient and relevant retailer.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Love it so much. Okay. So shopping, say it again, Stuart, shopping with purpose. Is that the tagline?
Yes. It's Museum Store Sunday, Shop with Purpose.
Shop with purpose. Here's the deal. Our listeners are pretty busy that weekend because they are doing some of their events and they've got a lot going on. However, listeners, if you have friends, family who can get out there and go to your store and then also shop with purpose and go to Museum Store Sunday, that would be amazing. How can they learn more? How can they get involved?
Well, we have a great website, museumstoresunday.org, and we have several ways. We have a great find a museum store locator. So if you just, it naturally knows where you are. and it serves up a list of all the local museum stores that are participating in Museum Store Sunday. And then we also have a find an online store directory, which is really a year-round resource that highlights the breadth and diversity of museum stores. And it allows visitors to browse and start shopping with just a click. And it's organized first by museum type and then alphabetically by name. And we have all the uploaded logos of all the various museum stores. So again, speaking to branding, brand identity is key. And so really it makes it easy for customers to find their favorite stores by interest.
Amazing. That's so great. And we'll link to that. If anybody is traveling, use that site, see what's going on in your local community. What a great resource. Now, are you guys ready for the resilience round?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. All right. Here we go. So this is the order we're going to go in, just the order I see on my screen. So Susan, you're going to be first, then Chacho, Stuart, Jonathan. Okay. Here, because we've never done this with 4 people. So this is really fun. All right. Best business book.
So fast. It's not really a business book, but I'm reading Mel Robbins' Let Them. And I have found that I can apply those principles to managing a retail and visitor experience staff. So that's mine.
That's a good one. Chacho.
There's the Museum Industry Retail Report that's published by MSA, data to fill up an entire ocean for museum store professionals. It's a great tool for people like who are on this call, just like me.
Yeah, very cool. Stuart.
Well, MSA just released their 5th edition of Museum Store, the Manager's Guide, and it has nuts and bolts of really running a museum store. But I think any retailer can sort of take a look at what museum stores do and gain valuable knowledge and insights as well to apply to their businesses.
Very cool. Jonathan.
And I love a book called How to Talk to Anyone. It's by Patrick King. So if you're an introvert like me and happen to run a business or funny enough work in marketing and PR, it's a great book to learn how to speak to anybody for any occasion, which is great when you want to interact with your customers or the media.
Yeah, so true. I'll have to check that one out. That's awesome. Great job, guys. That was really good. Okay, here we go. Next one. Best retail technology like an app or software.
So I rely on the market apps. So Market America, Atlanta Market, MSA Forward, wherever I go. And it really helps organize me. And I can go back later and make good buying decisions. So I'd say the market apps.
Awesome. Chacho.
So one thing that made my life a lot easier was being able to sync our online store with our brick and mortar. So I'm thankful for Counterpoint and WooCommerce integrated software.
Awesome.
Makes my life a lot easier.
Good. We like that. Stuart.
Well, we love Shopify. Shopify has been essential for operating our online store business. You know, not only is it user-friendly, but it's very flexible to help align our online store look and feel with our institution's website. And we're looking for additional ways to utilize Shopify for our overall business needs, including point of sale, hopefully in the future.
Very good. Awesome. And Jonathan.
I'll say, as someone on the shopping side, I love the eBay app. I love to see products and how they're trending, the prices. And what I do love about eBay is that it's a great way to support local creators as well and small businesses. A lot of them have storefronts on that platform.
So true. Okay, this is really fun with 4 people because I like hearing everybody's answers because they're all so different and we're all learning from each other, which is really fun. So let's keep it going. Susan, how do you keep up with the ever-changing retail landscape?
I hope that I do, but, you know, being a member of the Museum Store Association, I rely on this association to give me my education and keep me up to date. And that's through attending webinars that are out there and reading industry reports.
Awesome. Chacho.
I think Susan was looking at my, because I'm just going to say the same thing. MSA is a great resource for me, you know, especially with a museum, with a mission related store. You know, it keeps me connected with my colleagues. It's really a great networking tool, as well as a place where you can make a lot of close friends. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the board. I really mean that. if I were not on the board, I'd still say the same thing.
Awesome. Love it, Stuart.
Very similar to what Chacho and Susan said, really, following what our industry peers are doing and talking with them. The one thing about the museum store community is we really collaborate with each other. We don't view each other as competitors. We're partners, we're collaborators. But I also read a lot of retail industry news, set up Google searches, web articles, and retail specific resources like Rooted in Retail.
Yay. Thanks, Stuart, for the plug. So good.
I forgot to say Rooted in Retail.
And I did as well. So
Okay, good. I'm glad we added it. It's good. Jonathan, what about you?
Well, in addition to listening to Rooted in Retail, as someone who is in the PR and marketing landscape, of course, we stay up to date with all retail media and news. Some of my favorite reporters who cover national retail are Anne DiNocenzo at AP News and Betty Lynn Fisher at USA Today.
Amazing. Such great resources, you guys. So good. Okay. Now, if you had to start your career all over again, what's one thing you do differently?
well, I think it's all in the digital world. I would have embraced it earlier and, ensured that my operation was really up to date. It takes a while to get caught up in the nonprofit. So that would be what I would do differently.
Yeah. Good one.
So when I was starting out at the museum, I really thought I didn't need anyone's help. And so what I really wish I would have done sooner is started networking sooner. I started at the museum in 1986. So you do the math. I was 10 years old.
Yes. Wow. Very.
I just wish I would have started the networking sooner. I'll listen to my old, wise museum store friends sooner. But now I hope that I can be a help to people who are just starting out in the industry.
Yeah.
So
Awesome. Stuart?
Well, I wish I went after my MBA. That's what I wish. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Awesome. What about you, Jonathan?
Yeah, I would say when I started my business back in 2018, it was very basic, wasn't very unique. And I would say 8 years later, really embracing who you are and your unique value propositions, not just you as a business, but you as a person. Personally, love museums and art since I was a kid. So it's just a natural alignment and fit. Really lean into those because that's how you get to work with amazing clients that you get to do great work for.
Yeah, it makes it way more fun and way more enjoyable. That's for sure. Finally, what do you think the future of independent retail looks like?
Well, in a way that's very easy. I feel like it's what we're striving for right now is what we do in the museum store. We're storytelling, we're curated products, we're supporting locally made artisans. And I think that is where it puts us at an advantage of the big box retailers who can't do those things necessarily. So I think that's where the future really is.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Chacho?
yeah, connection, right? I mean, more hands-on personal service, creating an experience, big online retail has its place. But if you want something that is not in your algorithm, but something that really enlightens you and brings you to a certain place, our personal connections with other human beings can't be matched. Really can't be matched.
Yeah, well said. Stuart?
Very similar. I think independent retail will continue to thrive, but, it will have to do so with really great flexibility, individuality, creativity, and authenticity. I think it will also have to be highly collaborative and community-based in order to survive. We need to collaborate with each other, support our local communities, and not view each other as competitions, competitors. So, yeah.
Yeah, very good. So good. Jonathan, what about you?
I have to agree with everyone above, especially with the advent of AI. People really want authentic experiences. They want real things. They want tangible things. People want to feel the fabrics of clothes or textures of products. So really offer those in-person experiences to stand out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's so interesting because, Stuart, you said Shopify for your app, which just a couple days ago, as we're filming this, they released their AI integration where you can find products through chat now. So that accelerates, but at the same time, the consumer really wants the connection and the experience and that in-person human element, like you guys are all saying. And so it really is such a balance and a blend that you guys all did. So you talked about so well on today's podcast. So thank you for being here. We are so excited to celebrate Museum Store Sunday, which I know is the Sunday after Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. And this year it's going to be on the 30th, right?
That's
November
correct.
November
30th.
30th. Yes.
Yes. So get out there and tell your friends, tell your family. If you're going to be working in your store and you can't participate, tell people, share, like you said, it's all about, I think, Stuart, you said let's not be competitors. Let's work together. Let's
Collaborate with your local museums or help your local museum store, Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's help our local museum stores. I love it. So
Support the arts.
What's that, Chacho?
Oh, I said support the arts.
Support the arts. I love it. So thank you all so much for being here and sharing your wisdom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll link to everything that you guys mentioned and your stores and business. So thank you guys. It really means a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
Kristen. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Everyone, remember that I'm rooting for your success. Have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for listening to the Rooted in Retail podcast. It means the world to me to have you here. If you find value in this show and you listen on an iPhone, if you could leave a review on the Apple Podcast app, that would be amazing. And if you watch YouTube, if you're a YouTube subscriber, we film this. And so if you rather watch the show, you can also do that over on YouTube. Again, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.